You can get more cars through, because the cars back up this way because you can't get on the highway. So much like they've done in Gwinnett and places like that, we need to widen it, lengthen it so you can have more car capacity. That'll help us, those that travel, to get in and get out. But that, that's one part of it, but that's something we can do in less than 10 years from a DDI perspective. Last thing, I know I'm pressed with time, and one thing I'm advocating is collaboration. So I've already reached out to a couple of organizations. I think what we need to do as business associations is all get together and collaborate so that we can more effectively have one voice and talk to the county, talk to the different towns, and advocate the issues we talked about. So I've already reached out to Dominique and South Fulton Coalition. I've already talked to Bobby and them about how do we get together to talk about having networking so our merchants can get together and share information. So if I'm doing a seminar, like I'm doing a seminar next week at my business association for, if you're invisible online, how can you be more visible, which will help people get more visible online. Why don't we open that up to all the business association members? Why don't we, if we have similar issues in terms of transportation or MARTA or things like that, why don't we get together? Because in my dealings as an entrepreneur, I see this on the north side in Cobb where they get together and meet. So one of the things I'm going to work on for the next year is getting all the organizations to have an after hours event and business events so we can start pressing our agenda as business associations. And then partnering with the property owners and developers so that we can actually get what we want done, which is really the same thing. It's smart, consistent economic growth that benefits all of us in a safe environment where we can do business. So I had to do that quickly. Bobby, I've got a second presentation to do. Okay. But I had already recorded so that you can actually send this out to your members. I'll give you a copy of the slides, but let's have some discussion. Any comments about the survey, the feedback? Yes, Doug.
It's amazing. I mean, you really touched on a lot of nerves here. I do have a lot of things to say, but I'm going to save those.
We can talk offline.
Well,
I want to report with this.
The one thing I did need some clarity on is the difference, the technical difference between a CID and a BID. Can you explain how that works, or is it just a matter of size, or?
Yeah, I mean, generally you see the BIDs in cities like in smaller neighborhood areas. The CID where I am is a large. They just doubled in size. They're the west and south of the airport, and it's still the same thing. It's business owners or property owners. More than I forget the revenue percentage. Doug probably is. I mean, Don, you probably off the top of your head revenue percentage. But basically, and you same thing.
It's self-taxing
same
district.
Thing, self-taxing 3%. You've got a board. It's put up through Ferdinand. They put the money back. I mean, they just right. Received their money. I mean, what we have with them to share with you guys for Camp Creek Parkway, Marketplace, and Virginia Avenue, we now have it. They self-fund a 24/7 police force in addition to what's already provided. I know DDR has something over here. John, you got something over here as well. They have that in addition to that. They have taken on the median that the DOT can do once a year. They self-cut that and pick up litter themselves as part of that. So they have money now, and they're putting $1 million into our DDI project out of their budget. So, and that comes from the self-taxing, where you have money. So the biggest benefit of this really is the median and owning it and making the whole driveway that we have here, which is
the ramps and so forth,
all that much better. That's the biggest thing. And the CID has the ways of engaging with the DOT to get things done in ways I've been really impressed with. Right. Because there's all kinds of grants that they can push. Because I've been in meetings now with both these organizations, and it's amazing how responsive the DOT is with the CID pushing them. I mean,
especially if you're willing to put up some money of your own for your area.
Yeah, I mean, so where we are, we've got partners like Duke Realty and Chick-fil-A and all these folks, and Woodward Academy's on the board. There's a lot more gravity you can get towards what you want when you have a CID. Because this is so small, I was talking to people, this is more of like a neighborhood type thing, and that's why they're saying more of the BID mode. You have BIDs in town, I believe, in Atlanta. They also would take on the part of the marketing I talked about, the branding, and you've got the funding to really do that. And then, what they do up there is they've got a gentleman named John Anton, who's their security director. He coordinates all 4 of the police municipalities for meetings and engagement, follow-up, reporting. So you've got someone who owns it, because the associations can't do that. Folks that are in development, they can't do that. And it's a unique kind of public-private piece where you can push things And we're thrilled they're there. I participated in the strategic planning process, and they're achieving a lot.
Can we join yours? They sound like they got it going.
Sure. Any other questions? Before I switch gears.
Yeah, the acronym stand for.
Business Improvement District or Community Improvement District? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Michael,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to share with the team, and I think we provided some feedback after we did the analysis on the surveys, but it was just so disturbing to see how the community respondents grouped all of us together. When it comes to, I think you mentioned West End, Old National, they didn't look at us just as Cascade Corridor, they looked at the whole picture. So as he's talking about the collaboration, one of the things that we've been talking about is defining a way that we can separate ourselves, but yet make everyone interested in getting involved, for the whole. Because as they're looking at us as one, then we want to become one for the entire Cascade Corridor, West End, as they're looking at us.
Right, and I think the other thing we can do better is engage the NPUs, because the NPUs really are the primary voice, and the city council person along with the county commissioner, and push them together and actually make them talk and actually have a shared vision, because that's what I've had to learn down where I am. I mean, so this past year, I've had my invitation list has had Cesar Mitchell, John Eves, Mayor Longino, Mayor Peters. And as they each talk about those things, the same thing I preach to them is, as leaders in an area that's probably less than, Camp Parkway is 12 miles long, y'all have to have the same shared vision so we can win and work together.
Now, here's what I think on that. It just occurred to me. It's not surprising that people think of this in a more global sense, because we're talking about the Cascade Corridor. But this commercial district is not a corridor. It's not a long road, it's not Camp Creek, it's not Old National, it's none of those things. It's a node, really. That's a pretty nerdy word. I mean, the Cascade node doesn't really get anybody, fired up. But we really need to figure out how to reposition how people see us in terms of the language. The Cascade Town Center occurs to me. I mean, it's a little bit presumptuous to call us a town center versus some that we know of, but I think corridor really does get us off kilter a little bit, because we are a highly identifiable 1 mile, slightly more, I think you said, or slightly less, as I've thought, area node of commercial development serving a much wider residential community. So that would be one thing I would rather zero in on right at the start.
Well, I think the expectations change because all through the survey there were comments about this is not like Bucket. It's not meant to be like Bucket. Bucket's a 20-mile area from a branding perspective. It's huge. It's master planned as well. I mean, while there was intentional planning and growth here, you had a lot of less than ideal areas where you've got areas that couldn't be developed because of 100-year floodplains,
power lines,
and things like that. So there's been a lot of creative work to work around that. Right. And thankfully, I got here in '95. I was very happy that we had the overlay district, because one of the reasons I think we've got the consistency here in terms of having a half dozen banks here and the types of business we don't have is we have, like Sandy Springs, I believe also has it. We have an overlay district which has the citizens involved as an equal partner with development and county to say, not only do we want this, we don't want this, and here's how we want it. We don't have large monument signs like you have on Old National Highway. We've got color and code restrictions, which as a merchant, I used to be a merchant as well, brick and mortar. It is a pain, but it helps keep consistency in brand, because areas like generally trend down over time. And in sort of the landscaping and other things like that, this looks largely like it did 15 years ago. There's a few spots we'll have to develop where the QT was going to come. That would have been nice to have that come in to fix that corner. It is what it is. But largely, this is an area that's maintained its value. But, and now we've got the Fairburn Road sidewalks and parking that makes it more walkable. But this is all positive. This is all positive. So let me switch gears. I know we were pressed for time. It's a business association, so I asked Bobby what would be meaningful to talk about. And what I'm a consultant, and I've got do some other marketing. So what I decided to do, I said, well, let me do a presentation which I think would appeal to people here about how do I improve sales engagement, both sales and engagement. And what I wanted to pass out, can you help me, Rich? Pass them in, everybody.
That's a cool slide.
I've got a few samples here. And all of us in business know about the customer life cycle. You know, the first few parts about it are the hardest part. I know, Patrick, you know that from day one. How do you get people to know you're here from an awareness perspective? And then second, how do you acquire that customer? How do you get them in your store? How do you get them to buy something? And then the other part, which we don't think about as merchants sometimes, is once we have them, how do we do engagement so we retain them? Because all of us as business owners that have customers know the most important thing about having your customer is, I'm not making a whole lot of money the first time you come in. I make money on you the second, third, fourth time you come in. And I make money on you and your ability to give recommendations to people.
Tell your friend.
To tell people, because I don't know about you, but if I ask for, hey, where's a good place to get flowers, or place to get my hair cut, if someone, a friend of mine is a trusted source tells me that, or a real estate, I'm going to go to Keller Williams. I'm much more likely to take that recommendation because I got that. And this is the other part. This is the customer engagement part. So what I want to do is talk about two different systems that I'm very familiar with as a marketing consultant. I work with both of these. We're coincidentally doing a Cascade campaign right now. So I want to share with you, this is what we're doing now in the Camp Creek area. These are actual coupons we have out.
Same thing.
So the yellow ones are what we just did in Camp Creek area. And by that I mean, So what we're doing right now, and you can, what this is this is a door hanger, but it's a unique door hanger because we actually in the Camp Creek area are finishing up putting these on 15,000 houses in the area. So if you look at that, it's very bright, it's very attractive. You've got 16 slots. Some of you may have already seen these in your house, depending on where you are. But I want to talk about the best way to get people in the door. So in terms of reach, you know, step one, and you know, we normally have deals. You know, we do a deal, we do 20% off, and I used to have a store for 4 years, and sometimes I used to get confused about worrying about doing 20% off or something like that. But here's the thing. You need to make what I think is called the Godfather offer. You need to have an offer people can't refuse. Because as busy as we are, we look for three things, right? We look for something that's going to make me move right now. We look for a call to action. And generally, we need an expiration date. Because as humans, we're generally lazy. And if we know it expires or something like that, so the first thing you have to do as an owner is, you're trying to get someone in the door. You're not trying to make money on that time, really. Because once you get them in, you guys will do what you do best. You'll provide good service, you'll provide a good product, and they'll come back. So the first thing is you got to make that Godfather offer. I'm a big Godfather fan. Make them the offer they can't refuse. Say 40% off, 50% off, new customer, come in my door. The second thing is distribution. And I'll talk about engagement now between text messaging, emails, and the effectiveness of that. But what I love about this system of local door coupon, we have a team that works for us. We go out with segways and bright orange jackets. We distribute this professionally. We put these on doors. I mean, we're even getting calls, emails from next door saying, where can we get more coupons? So you come home from work and you have that at your door, you're not going to miss that. Because the challenge I've got now with traditional coupon distribution, I get them in my mailbox, they're way too close to my bills. The first thing I do is I throw them away. Because I don't want to see my bills anyway, okay? But the thing also is they're so small and they're not standing out. This, when you come home, stands out. The coupons are 2x5. So that part is key. We're in the process of doing a campaign right now for the Cascade area, and we'll be starting that campaign in October. So one of the reasons the timing was good here, because we were actually pre-marketing to the business merchants in Cascade and Campbellton and say, would you guys like to participate in this? And the third thing is here is once you have this coupon, we're distributing it, we're getting people that are saying, wow, what's the deal with the Segway? And so we're getting marketing and leadership opportunities just from distributing these things. We're also getting calls from business owners that live in the houses that have business in Camp Creek saying, we're really sorry we missed this. How do we get on board? Because we got it at our house. So we think this is a really effective way to market and distinguish your business. Again, the goal is, what's the Godfather offer to get someone out? Because if I get that at my house, and by the way, those are the yellow coupons. Those are good coupons. You go to GNC and stuff like that. You call, you make them, and all you have to do really for the campaigns is really just engage. So, like Tiffany said, she's from Local Door Coupon. I'm from Local Door Coupon as well. We don't have a contract. There's no commitment. And so basically we do campaigns generally in areas 4 times a year. And it's a matter of, like you said, if you look at the Nancy's Pizza or Wolf Creek, do you want that top slot, which is a higher top slot,
Sure.
the front or the back? The gentleman that owns Nancy's Pizza at Camp Creek, we were just talking to him the other day. I think he said within a week or so he had 25 or 30 people in the door with that 25% off coupon. So the question I want to ask some of you guys is, for new business marketing, Patrick, what do you guys do over at Delore? Because you guys' business is mostly word of mouth referral, I know.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for new business marketing over there?
We focus on social media,
Okay.
and also we do have coupons that we send out to the post office, go right directly to the mail.
Right.
But I think social media seems to be the most effective thing these days.
Okay. The other thing is and I didn't mention this, so we're looking at 4 cents per house. So we're going to hit everything in this area. And believe me, when we're doing the mapping for this area, there's easily 17,000 to 20,000 houses out here. It's not hard. But we're trying to confine it to this area. So you're talking about, with the postal things, maybe 15 to 30 cents per impression, and then get mixed into the mail. You're not going to miss this, and you're looking at 4 cents per impression as well. Any other business owners? There's a gentleman from, I'm curious, does Walmart do coupons? Do you guys do coupons?
No.
I didn't think
They
so.
do
Okay.
Sunday
Just
inserts.
Just inserts? Okay.
We do inserts, no coupons.
Okay. Any other business owners? I mean, you've got the driving range, right? How do you guys market for that? Social media? Okay.
Just want to ask a quick question.
Yes, sir.
How does the consumer perception today of coupon like this? What is the real perception of
The
this?
perception of this is overwhelming. I was surprised. I've been working with them for a couple of months. It was much better than I thought. We're getting great feedback from, one, the presentation of it. It's a very attractive, high-quality piece. The biggest data point we get back is we would like to have more of a variety of services on it. So one of the things we're doing for the Camp Creek Cascade, geez, I live and work in both, sorry. The Cascade one is we're trying to get more services like cars and car wash, in addition to massage and things like that for food. I mean, the response has been overwhelming. Tiffany, do you want to add anything? Because I know that.
So part of what I do also is manage our distribution team. So I've been out actually passing out the door hangers with them to train them and things like that. So I've talked directly to homeowners and they love it. One, because I mean it's bright, it's great quality. I'm a couponer myself. I'm a mom too. I hate cooking coupons. This, I mean, they're easy, they're perforated. So all you gotta do is tear them off, boom, easy. And I mean, it's non-invasive too. You know, the guys go out, like you said, they're in bright orange shirts. We just transition them over to Segways, and people are shocked by it. They love it. It's great stuff. It's not even a sale here. They're like, oh my God, I didn't even know some of these businesses in the area. Boom, they have a new customer to go. Simple.
This also be applicable for home-based services?
Yes, ma'am. I've got
Sure.
a meeting with someone who's got a beauty salon. And I think it's a great play for home-based businesses, internet-based businesses, especially because you don't have the traditional brick and mortar that the Walmarts do and other institutions. I mean, the other thing, and I'm speaking directly to Keller Williams, is I think from a real estate perspective, in terms of doing a free CMA consultation, this is a great play for you guys. So we just have to think about this differently than a normal coupon. One of the ideas, I was working with a merchant that has a credit business service, and I told him, I said, look, if I was you, what I would do is not even do 50% off credit services. What I would do is position myself as a subject matter expert, and I would do a free webinar on 7 steps to a 700 credit score. Do the free webinar, and then you've got your leads that way. And have this, because I know if I saw that, and because I'm an entrepreneur, my score is now below 700, not a shock, but I would sign up for that webinar as well. But it's about how you want to do the offer. And services are easy. You know, and I think that for real estate, it's a great play, it's a great exposure, because most of us from real estate are kind of saturated with the normal ways of communication via cards and meetings. This puts them, for lack of a better word, in a nice way, right in someone's face when they come home. Yes, Doug?
2 questions. The revenue to produce this and distribute it comes from the merchant itself in addition to the discounts they're doing?
No, we actually have, great question. We actually, in the prices we had, in the bottom part, this is $5.99 for the smallest one in the back. We do all the creative work, we do all the printing, and we do all the distribution. So we all own that. So the merchant or vendor only pays that one fee.
I see.
So, when, you got a front side and a back side. Back side, the 2x5s are $5.99. On the front side, they're $6.99. Up here, the top on the front's $14.99, and the back side's $12.99. We have Atlanta. We're currently looking at 3 campaigns. We also have Cobb as well, Smyrna, but we're doing Tri-Cities. We're working on Cascade right now in Camp Creek, but we eventually will get around the whole city because we are the Atlanta franchise.
One more question.
Sure.
Legality of getting on the doorknob.
Yes. So we have permitting. We own all that stuff. We use a tool called Sales Rabbit, which allows us to actually see on our handhelds directly where things are being done. So we actually own doing the permitting and stuff like that. Where there do not hangs, which there are occasionally those, we don't hang there, but we're doing it the old school, the right way.
Expiration dates.
We haven't put those on there because the franchise has been around for 3 years in Miami. We generally find the response is so overwhelming, and with the offers being Godfather deals, you don't need to have the traditional things that I would do, bring your behind in 30 days. So we haven't put those on there. But like I said, you would really be surprised. This is also, there's a novelty with this where we're used to getting coupons, and you mentioned, Tiffany, clipping them. We're used to kind of going in the small, with the 8x11 things and going through and flipping them. They're all right here. The other thing we see, Patrick mentioned a point about response, is people share coupons. So, you know what? My neighbor has this, I want 2 of these. Let me just get 2 of the GMC ones from her, and I'll swap her the colonic one because whatever like that. So there's a lot more sharing because once you get this, it's 24 inches long. You really can't miss this or bypass this like we all misplace business cards after our networking obligation.
Question to you. You know how to find Michelle, right, in the magazine?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have a way of calling and getting more?
What?
No.
No, we do a full distribution to the homes. You mean getting them more to the homeowners?
Yeah, well, if they wanted to give it to a friend, or they wanted to bring it to church, or something like that.
Well, we're putting 15,000 out.
You're pretty much covering the
Yeah, we're
population.
Plus the response rate and the retention rate on this is so high because people are just thrilled they're getting responses. Because the response rate for this as this kind of coupon mechanism, Doug, is really high.
It beats
Because
the
I mean,
competition.
it's predicated on a couple things, right? 1, it's the right offer. 2, how it's the presentation of it, and 3, it's right there, and it's not something you're going to lose in this place.
Well, $5.99, just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
$5.99, is it one time?
Yeah, we have no contract, so it's one campaign.
One campaign?
Yeah.
And it covers 15, just 1 second.
Yeah, the
It covers 15,000 homes in the Cascade area or the Camp Creek area?
So the Cascade area, we've marked out in our area map 15,000 homes and communities. There are that many, trust me.
How long would it take you to get all that out?
We generally can do that within 2 or 3 weeks.
That's what I say, a month or less.
Michael, one of the things that we struggle with here is merchant participation. Look at
That's why I have this topic. I thought this would be meaningful as a merchant. How do I make more money?
Exactly. So we're looking at that as one of the solutions to the value add or the value proposition in terms of merchants wanting to become involved with Cascade Business and Merchants Association. So I think, well, I'm hopeful, I should say, that something of this magnitude would generate interest of the merchants in our corridor to want to become more involved.
It should. I mean, once this campaign goes out and we're actively taking, working it now in October, the response for this is going to be tremendous because we're not used to getting market to this way.
How are you distributing it? What's the distribution?
We have teams, Tiffany will know that manage the teams, so we
Like,
have
they're
people on
going
our
to
team.
neighborhoods, like foot patrol?
No, we transit to segways for efficiency.
Okay.
We have segways and orange
That's cool.
vests.
Yeah.
You can get a whole lot more done in a Segway than walking. Plus, those calf muscles at the end of the day get pretty tired. Walking the
It
hills
attracts
you have-
attention,
Yeah.
positive
Yeah,
attention.
you get positive attention with the Segways. You've got a couple Segways now. But so the thing, Bob, I'd ask you is, I mean, so, obviously we're marketing this, but I think this is a win-win. So one of the things I think we should look to do is how do we get the word out that there's a new marketing opportunity, a unique marketing opportunity that's very effective to the merchants and business people that aren't here today. Because I mean, we've got 16 slots on there.
How about we do a coupon?
Yeah.
The association does a
Yeah,
coupon.
I mean, and we're getting calls. I mean, I just got a call about doing a double coupon, and it's a first come, first served. Like I said, it speaks for itself, And like I said, I've gotten Patrick. I just thought something. So I'm president of the Camp Creek Business Association. I have gotten some feedback. I've gotten some members who are mad that are not on the Camp Creek run, the yellow one right now. That's the negative stuff I've got. They go, why didn't you call me? So I've got the problem now is I've got more than 100 people I deal with. There's 16 slots on there. So I got the admission of like, you didn't call me and hook me up. So that's the only negative feedback I've gotten and I'm an easy target as the association president.
That's a good thing to have.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying is so the calls we've gotten are, why didn't you come by? And I'm like, we went through and whoever sold it, we moved on.
But you can combine next month, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a whole new distribution 30 days from